Welcome to the Reddit Chronicles. Today we will be reading from Relationship Advice. Our first post is by Becky CRM. My spouse 34M finds me 26F unattractive and doesn't want to be intimate because I don't want to exercise. I'm not sure how to work this out. I'm 5 feet 5 inches 135 pounds. I take care of my health in all ways except I don't regularly exercise. I understand how important it is, but I'm not an athletic or a physically active person. Never have been. He told me he finds it unattractive that I don't care. Not that I'm fat or ugly, but it's my attitude. He thinks it isn't fair that only he puts in the effort. He said that I need to accept that I have to put in the effort to be attractive past 20. I don't think this is a me problem, but I'm afraid to tell him this is a him issue and not a me issue. How do I approach this with him? Do I tell him how hurtful it is to know I'm unattractive? I'm just so lost. As someone who had an eating disorder, this is one of my worst nightmares. Edit. I talked with him more about his exact expectations. I was attractive to him after I lost about 10 pounds and gained some muscle last year. Through strict diet, exercise, and a bit of anabolic steroids, I kept the weight off, but not the muscle. So he isn't very attracted to me now. I'm always wanting to get back to that period. But I struggle with motivation and anxiety over falling back into my eating disorder, which I've told him. I still do the occasional exercises to help with any issues or problematic weaknesses, but that's what I do to help myself. I don't know how I can have the motivation to maintain what he wants. He hasn't said it outright, but I know that he thinks I'm weak for needing motivation. There are just things that we have to do whether we want to or not. And I'm like that with everything else in life but this. I'm not sure why it's so different for me. Why I can't just do it. I've made so many attempts over the years, but I never kept up going to the gym or a routine. I don't know how I can fix myself in this way. Has anyone else dealt with the same thing and found a way out of the hole? Our next post is by Throwaway. The 28M family I thought I had with my wife 27F and son isn't real, and yet she wants me to stay. How do I get her to know that's not happening? 5 years ago, I began dating her, and she presented herself as a sweet and loyal human being. One with her own goals about being a great person by having her own business. I also own a business. I married her 2 years ago, and I thought I had a 1-year-old son. Over the past couple of months, she got a bit more secretive. When I told her that she can tell me anything, she got rude and upset, saying it's none of my business. Over the past 2 weeks, she even was sullen and won't take to me. I don't know what I did and she wouldn't tell me, so I went through her phone and what I found was like her stabbing me in the heart. There were nudes sent and she was being flirty. They both talked crap about me and made fun of my appearance. Her affair partner said he may have an STD and wanted her to get checked. We still had sex often, so I'm now worried about that. But the most heartbreaking thing is when he broke off the affair, she asked, "What do we do about our baby then?" He confirmed that she would be solely responsible. So now my son isn't even really mine. I confronted her about everything and she put on the crocodile tears. I'm already starting divorce, but she's begging me to stay and even blocked me from leaving a few times. What do I do to get her to know the divorce is my final decision? Our next post is by Severe Sentence. How weird would it be if I, F29, gave a new solo baby my ex, M27, husband's last name? I posted a few days with a bunch of drama. My now ex-fiancé got me pregnant and blocked me on everything. He had a vasectomy and I had my IUD removed. We proceeded and I got pregnant. He tried to force me to have an abortion the last few days, but when I refused, he blocked me. Good riddance. I don't know the quality of his vasectomy. I only know what he told me. I'm going forward with the pregnancy on my own. I am divorced, have a child from a previous marriage, and I kept my ex-husband's last name. Our child had that name, so I just didn't change it. Now I've got this new baby coming, but the last name isn't originally mine. The father is obviously not going to be involved. Would it be crazy for me to give the baby another man's last name? I don't really want to go back to my maiden name because my dad was uninvolved too. Ages ago, I asked my ex-husband if I could have a baby alone and give it his name, and he said it was fine. I said it as a kind of joke, but now it seems like some cruel irony. I don't know how he would feel now. Thoughts. I also don't know how my ex's future spouses or girlfriends would feel about it. Please do not encourage me to get an abortion because I've already decided to keep the baby. I have no problems providing for the child, and I'm already emotionally attached. Our next post is by Throwaway. Girlfriend 24F tried to make my 27M mom's funeral all about her. My mom passed away a few weeks ago, and it's been hard for everyone in the family. I've already lost my dad and a couple of siblings, and I'm only 26, so it's been a rough time. I've been with my girlfriend for 2 years, so she knew my mom and they got on well. It was the funeral earlier in the week, and my girlfriend went with me. She couldn't sit next to me, as the front row was just close family, so it was me, my brother, my sister, and then my mom's siblings. Everyone's partner was on the row behind. When my girlfriend realized this, she looked annoyed and said she didn't want to sit with people she didn't know. I told her there was nothing that could be done, and that she doesn't exactly have to talk to them. During the wake, she kept complaining that she didn't know many people, and that people kept starting conversations with her that she didn't know, so she didn't know what to say. She kept asking when we were leaving and how long I was going to be staying. I told her if she wanted to leave, she could, but that I'll be staying until the end of the wake, which she was annoyed by. Later in the night, she kept saying she didn't really want to be there. So I reminded her again that she could leave, but that I'm staying with the rest of my family for now. She got annoyed again, and just spent the rest of it sat in silence, clearly annoyed. When we left and got home, she kept going on about how awkward she felt, and I just got annoyed with her and raised my voice. I told her all she's done all day is sit and complain and try to make it all about her. I said she hasn't gave a second thought to how I'm feeling, and that she only cared about the fact people dared try to talk to her. I said that it was my mother's funeral, and she didn't once seem like she was actually there to support me, and looked like she wanted to leave from the start. She said I was being cruel and unfair towards her, but I just repeated that everything I said was true. She said she expects an apology, and that I'm being horrible towards her, but I think she should be apologizing to me. How would you handle this? Thank you for listening to the Reddit Chronicles. Follow for more content.